Time now for our Beyond Sports look into the world of competitive marching band. Every year, high schools from around the state of Michigan start their planning for their competitive marching band season. Months full of preparation and competitions, all beginning with the announcement of their music and theme. A consistent winner? Plymouth Canton Marching Band from Flight 1, whose win in 2015 was their 25th state championship, stating they simply have to be their best every day.
It's definitely a commitment, and it's not just, you can be there at practice without actually practicing and getting better. So it's every day you have to show up and really give it your best. And as a senior, one of the hardest parts was being the motivator and making sure everyone had that goal of being the best we can be.
It's not just playing your music, it's not just marching. It's a lot of focusing on what you need to do, not letting down your friends. It's really a team effort.
One of our mottos this year, or at least one of my mottos with them was, it's 100 yards, no matter where we are. I got that quote from Hoosiers, the movie. It's the same distance that we're going to be on performing, so we have to realize what is consistent and use that to our advantage and what's in our control and what's not.
And a school that has clearly put in the work for years, high standards, and the support of a community who cares.
Definitely just the culture of excellence in everything we do. We start off in everything from like the alignment of your water bottles on the sideline to the same shoelaces. Everything needs to be the same. And at first it seems really petty, but that all translates into being on the field and like excellence in our performing and our playing, and it shows when you watch our performances.
Well, at every practice we would always work towards our goal, and they told us to try to get better. They said it wasn't about winning, but eventually with all our hard work we actually did win state, so we did what we wanted to do.
That type of achievement, greatness in anything, is a result of hard work, dedication, commitment, and we're also very fortunate. I think we have a lot of resources that a lot of other schools don't have.
But despite their strong history, the walk to state championships into Ford Field will always be special.
So rolling in and like walking through the gates and seeing the crowd and seeing the field, it was really cool. I'd been there before, but knowing it was my last time, there was kind of a different energy about it, and you just felt different and more excited. It was really cool.
To have the energy around Ford Field and seeing other bands walking, down the tunnel and while you're waiting, and it's really neat to see how every student is approaching it the same way.
And each year, the friendships made and lessons learned are forever the impact on Plymouth Canton's team.
I think music has a way of connecting people, almost, if you can imagine, a tether to where we had all these chords and you were plugging each individual into another person, but as a result of that, you had more power, you had more energy, you had more motivation.
Definitely the connections that I've made and my friends have made. We have a very big emphasis on family, and that's very evident every day in practice.
This year's extra motivation, the Plymouth Canton family is headed to play at the Rose Bowl, taking with them everything they've learned in 2015.
Another school that's no stranger to success or winning is Muskegon Reese Puffer High School. They swept Flight 2 this year at the state finals, crediting their leadership for it all.
They're always there, from day to day. They're always there helping you out, giving you advice on how to improve as a person, as a player, as a marcher, and they just set the great example for us.
If you have trouble with something, there's always somebody you can go to. And so I think that's been one of the top things that's been most memorable for me.
The Rockets grew tremendously throughout the entire season, from competition to competition.
To see what the show is, it's always exciting to start from nothing and work from there, and teaching a lot of new people, a lot of new stuff. It's very different than anything else you do, so it's amazing.
The best thing about going to the show is that we get a chance to see the success that we've had in pushing it to the next level, and then we get feedback on what we've done and what works and what doesn't work and what we need to then change for the next week. And the show changes dramatically throughout the season with the feedback that we get.
constantly challenging themselves and valuing the experience.
The competition's really with themselves. You know, there are other bands there, you know, but our kids will cheer on the other bands as much as they would cheer on ours. I think they all know what everybody goes through. And it's a little less head-to-head than sports are in that direction, because really, I mean, the competition is with themselves to push themselves to the next level.
It really has to come from like within you. It can't come from outside reinforcement like pushing you. You have to really want it from like the inside, and you have to want to succeed in this, and that really drives everyone forward.
Respect for yourself in the band. I think it doesn't matter how good you are, just as long as you have respect for yourself and pride in what you're doing for the band, I think that's what makes a band member.
It's about not accepting anything but your very, very best. I mean, don't ever do a rehearsal, don't do a performance, don't come here and have a bad attitude. I mean, you need to come in here and you need to always strive to do your very, very best. And if you do that, you'll achieve everything that you want to achieve.
And achieve they did, getting all the way to Ford Field once again for the experience of a lifetime.
It's a crazy feeling. I remember freshman year, I was standing the very front of the end zone waiting to go on, and just like looking across like Ford Field and just like knowing that we're gonna march and perform for people on there. It was just an amazing feeling.
Last year and this year was walking off the field with just that presence about you where you just feel great, and I think that was definitely the best part.
Their performance was the best of the season, which is what we want. We want them really the ideal is we tell the kids, we want you to float off the field because you feel so good about what you just did. And I think mission accomplished on that one this year.
Coming up after the break, we'll feature 2 more bands who made it to Ford Field. Stay tuned for our State Champs Beyond Sports special.
We want you. We are Lawrence Technological University, and we don't want just anybody. We want students who are curious and driven, students with a passion for hard work and good times, students who will move right in and shoot for the best that Lawrence Tech Southfield campus has to offer. So if you believe that everything is possible and that possible is everything, we want you at LTU.
At Sarah Chevrolet in Southfield, we're all about the holidays. You think anyone will guess what it is?
Nah, you're good.
And we're open late Monday through Thursday, so you have time to shop for these and these.
Get a 0-down lease on a Cruise for $77 a month or Equinox for $164.
Even if your trade is as ugly as this sweater, I'll still give you $1,000 more than Kelly Blue Book.
Hey, you're all wearing the sweaters I got you last year.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, twinsies.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for 1 medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
Welcome back to State Champs Beyond Sports. It's time now to take a look at Flights 3 and 4 and what marching band season has meant to them.
Flight 3 of the 2015 Competitive Marching Band State Finals was an extra special one this year as Stevensville Lakeshore finally took home first place after a long run of coming up just short, and that earned them some serious respect around the entire school.
We hadn't won a state championship in 7 years, and we had won before in 02, 03, and 08, so to have this come again was just like over the moon wonderful.
I feel like, especially after this year, after winning, there's a little more appreciation for the band kids. And with this year, with the show being what it is,
like a lot of the fellow students have learned Malala's story through us, which I think is really neat, so they think it's cool.
I think that it has given them a level of confidence. They've come in second so many times in a row that it's nice to have that validation that you were tops that one time.
But at Lakeshore, it goes beyond just winning. They're all in it together.
It lets you know what it feels like to be part of something that's bigger than yourselves, and it makes you feel more accomplished when you win that state championship and you know that, hey, I was a big part in what we did there.
There's always great people to meet. Sometimes you fight with people. It's like a family. That's the best way to describe it. And you just have little things, little funny things that happen, little inside jokes, and it's just all around a great experience.
Especially as a leader, one of the most important things to do is make sure that everyone's comfortable in band, because for a lot of kids, their family life and their life at home isn't up to really what they deserve. So I think your job as a leader to make sure that they're comfortable and make sure that they feel safe in the band.
The thing that set this band apart from other bands is that I knew at band camp that this was a really special group of kids because they all were in it for each other. There wasn't that entitlement that you get sometimes when particular sections are feeling like, more important. They all worked as a team from the get-go.
Working hard each and every day to perfect their musical narrative for the state finals.
When you're playing just regular music, you're just doing it for fun, but when you're doing like a piece that shows something, you're telling a story that you've got to get across and you've got to get it all right, and it all means more.
A lot of effort was put into it. We started off really slow because it's such a fast show, such a complex show. So we started off just bit by bit, set by set, and eventually it got up there to being ridiculously fast.
Leading by example and helping each other play their very best.
Leadership is serving others. That's the philosophy that we take at Lakeshore. When they are in charge of their section, then everybody is together, whether you're 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. They all take care of each other and they help each other succeed.
A leadership that undoubtedly paid off in their exciting win at Ford Field.
Winner of Flight 4 for 2015 was Ferndale High School, a consistently good band that had not won a state title since 2011. But they knew when the theme was announced, this year was going to be a fun one.
Announcing the theme is really cool because Mr. J calls down all the students that are in, he pulls the students that don't have band as a class, he pulls them out of their class, and we all sit and we're all anxious waiting for him to announce what it's going to be this year.
The music was super hard this year, so that's what I was really excited about going into the season, and then everything just came together and it was really awesome.
And then they're off and the teamwork begins.
Start off the season, you have to get into the mindset that every day is a work day. You can never slack off. It's every rehearsal you're at 110% all the time.
We go to Interlochen, and Interlochen is a week-long band camp where we're on the field 9 hours a day, practicing our show and learning our music. And it's really cool, and you think it's really intense, 9 hours a day, being on the field, but at the end of the day, you realize how much you learned.
But for Ferndale High School, it's about much more than the music and the hard work.
What's most important to me and what my favorite part of the band is the whole season overall, building the relationships that you build and watching yourself grow as a person and watching the band grow.
And just knowing that you're a part of a huge masterpiece, that was really cool.
And making it to the finals at Ford Field, an even more amazing feeling.
When we got to Ford Field, yeah, there were nerves, especially for newer people, and it's still for me, doing it for so long, I still get nervous when I get onto the field and I hear thousands of people cheering for me, and it's really a crazy feeling. It's very overwhelming, but it's so empowering at the same time.
There's something really unique about that. Hey, we're on this field where, these pro football players play and big music acts, and there's an intimidation factor with the size of the space and what goes on there. And for those first timers to be on that same field can be intimidating.
Because the life skills and memories are so much more important than the trophies and banners.
The reality is the vast majority of these kids, when they graduate, they're never going to touch their horn again. They're not going to go into college as musicians. They're not going to go march with the drum corps. A few will, of course, but the vast majority won't. And so you got to ask yourself, what is it you want them to walk away with? Do you want them to walk away with a banner and a trophy and a medal, or you want them to walk away with a whole boatload of life skills that's going to serve them well in college and life and the job market? The answer is that.
One of the great things about band, even if you don't do band in college, you still take the lessons that you learn along with you. Like the work hard, play hard is important for everything.